third one is why consistency beats mediocrity. Um, Personally, I'm not as consistent as a lot of my contemporaries are. They're consistently putting things out. They're consistently making things. They're consistently testing the waters. They're consistently falling, picking themselves up, dusting, and just continually going. But I am not that bold. But this last key, or this third key, I think is really important and really essential. I guess is because I know a lot of people who, especially including myself, beat themselves up on like making the next best thing, like being consistent, not making anything that's bad, not making anything that's like, really diminishing or embarrassing to the brand or to the person. But ultimately, I think that does you the biggest disservice as a creative and as a designer because you're never not gonna make a bad design. You're never not gonna make something that's not the best thing or is deemed as mediocre to other people because everybody's taste levels are different. What someone's gold is someone's trash. You know. And even the bag, when I made the bag, I was on Twitter. I'll be scrolling Twitter and be like, that bag's ugly, and I'll be like so ready to reply, but I just can't do that because it's not worth it. But I said to say that consistency beats mediocrity because if you even make a mediocre piece, people only focus on that for 1 second if you're constantly dropping things and you're constantly getting better and you're consistently, re-imaging and reimagining yourself in your designs and your pieces. And that goes into say that whether you leave her or not, and you start designing and start cooking up when you go home, if you make some hot fire dookie and you drop that, do that because that's a part of the process of figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. That's a part of the process of of getting people to latch on and to believe in your vision versus them not doing so. A lot of people, they respect solely you going out there and chasing your dreams because a lot of people are not willing to do that. A lot of people are not willing to take that risk. A lot of people are scared of taking that risk, you know? But be in a class full of dreamers and people who want to be overachievers. And the only thing that's stopping you, that can stop you from doing that, is yourself and letting other people's opinions of you get in the way of that. And their opinion do not really matter once you bring your brand to the place where it's selling out in 5 minutes. And actually, they're going to be ones buying it too and saying, it's fire, bro, because you get better over time. So I just think, I believe that you should definitely believe in yourself, believe in your ideas, and even believe in the foolish ones, because there will be foolish ones. And just also have like people around you too to let you know and get their opinions of it who aren't yes men, but also still trust yourself and trust your gut because that's all you have. That's your God-given thing is your gut, and believe in yourself. Prime, when is the... Okay. Anybody have any questions?
So can you, what was your journey like with funding? So as you elevated. We have a mic that's coming around.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What was your journey like with funding? So you say you started with T-shirts and hoodies and constantly elevated, and then the bags. Like I know that's a different type of game. So what was that like?
Girl, when I tell you. So I was in a really, I would say, very fortunate situation, but not anything extraordinary. And that was, so in 2020, the top of 2020, me and my friends, I went to JSU. So I was at JSU at the time, just before COVID touched down. And I was like, I want to have a pop-up, first pop-up. I was just not really getting serious with the brand again. So I was like, I want to have, it's called Words I've Never Said. I want pillows, I want hoodies, I want ski masks, I want all these things for this pop-up, I want to have it in March. March come around, didn't do it. COVID happened too, done. And it was just a constant back and forth of things getting in the way, obstacles and stuff like that. I got a job at Amazon, didn't like it. Told me I was sick with COVID, was not sick. Shot my stuff for my pop-up, did all my stuff within a week, had a pop-up in August. After the pop-up though, I made the most money I ever made. I made like 7,000. I'm like, oh my God, it's a lot of money. It was a week long. And then my friend, she had a job at Yeezy. So she was at Yeezy. She was like, I didn't know she had a job at Yeezy, by the way. She was like, oh, I want to make Kanye's hoodie. Like, who's your DTG person? So I was like, this is my person. I'm like, how you gonna get Kanye a hoodie? She's like, oh, I'm working, like, helping with some stuff. I was like, well, if you need help, let me know, da-da-da. Maybe 2 days later, she called me. She's like, well, they want interns. send me your resume, da da da. I got the job. So I worked there for 4 months, and then within those 4 months that I was working there, the money that I saved from that, I used some of that for the sample and stuff like that, and then I used the remainder of that money to get like my initial order of the bags. So yeah, it's just ultimately like just you. I would say for anybody who wants to create or take a high risk idea, is just you basically do whatever you have to do to invest and put that faith behind that idea. So if you have to get a job or two jobs while selling your merchandise, you know what I'm saying, or if you have to get a job while you sell the merchandise and use that merchandise money to all fund back into that high risk idea, like do what you have to do to prioritize that risk and just test it out. And even so, if you want to take this route, because sometimes, you know, if you're still like questioning the idea, you can order a sample. When you get the sample in, when you get the sample and you can shoot it, like play with the idea, play with teasers, get people's opinions and like their thoughts on it, so you can see like how people feel towards it, like public opinion. But if you get the sample and you know that it's buzzing, just hold it down until you get the money to buy the whole thing and like to fully develop it and then drop that.
So just piggybacking off her question, you talked about manufacturing. How did you find, like, how was that process for you of finding the right manufacturer to, you know, make the quality that you wanted and, you know, was able to execute the design language that you wanted for your bags?
So for manufacturing, I there's this app. The app everybody should be using is called Alibaba. Alibaba. Boy, I tell you, Alibaba. Everybody knows about that one, huh? But everybody hates it for some reason. See, now I'm gonna put you on some game for real. Alibaba is not that bad, okay? So this is what I would do. So I'll show you right now. Give me 1 second. I was just on it yesterday. So, for example, give me like something that anybody want to make. Like, just say something. Like, yeah, like sneakers. So you would type in. Oh, she said belt. So you type in sneakers, right? So let me put my runners all the way up. So you type in sneakers, and it's gonna show up suppliers, right? But there's different tabs. So on the tab right there, it'll say customizable. So you click customizable, and then what you do is just click the first one that comes up, and you say chat now, and you say, hey. And then automatically send you like this weird you may want to ask and like all this other stuff. Ignore that, and then you just say hey, and just be like hey. Like if you have like your sketch or like ideally you'd want to have like a vector or like a tech pack or a vector like a 3D model. And obviously your design, like whether it be on like Adobe Illustrator, which I usually take, that's probably the best one to take, Adobe Illustrator for like actual designs. And you basically like send them all the information like, hey, I'm gonna just act like I have my shoe ready, right? So I'm gonna just use my phone runner. So I'm like, hey, I have this shoe, you know, this is like the 3D model, and it's like I have this shoe I want to make. What's your MOQ, which is your minimum order quantity? How much would it be for a sample, and how much would the bulk price be? And then they'll get back to you like, hey, our MOQ is 300, and if they say 300, that's too, and they give you the price of like their price per piece, and it's too high for you, then you just know you just go to the next one. But I say just copy and paste that same message you sent to that first manufacturer to the first 50 people that you see on that screen that pops up, and talk to every single one of them. But if you have a message that's as specific as possible, like, hey, I want to make this shoe, I want this is the design, these are the materials of it, da da da, and then they get back to you and they let you know that, like, you say, this is the design, this is the material, da da da, what's your MOQ, what's your price per piece, what's the sample cost, what's the timeline, like how long would it take for you to make that? You'd say all that to them in like that one specific, very broad message. If your image or your vector, your 3D example is specific, really specific, they would have no questions for you. And that's what you prefer to have if you're like on the search. So you just send all that information to them. Wait for the replies, because they will reply to you around like, they get up around this time. It's like 8, 9, 10, because they're 12 hours ahead, or 10, something like that. So they'll reply to you around nighttime, like when you're in your little bed getting snuggly. And you should have like all the replies by yourself, like to yourself, at like when you're about to go to bed around that time. So like it'll give you enough time to like whether you wake up the next morning or when you're going to bed you're looking at your phone, which you shouldn't be doing. Just scroll through and then check and see what they say. You find ones who work with you and who have like the MOQs you want. You have some, pretty much most of them that won't, but that's fine. And then once you find your guy, you want to also be really specific about the materials and like what you want, because you need to have the knowledge about what you're working with, because China's hot. They're smaller than we are. You need it's like that sounds crazy, but like it's their materials. They don't wear thick cheap t-shirts. You have to know like the materials. So they'll get back to you, and when they do, basically for the sample, you like get really specific about what you want from them. Get the sample, and if the sample is perfect and like it's amazing, then now you know this is who I could do business with. If it's bad, you can choose to like fix the sample, like say like, hey, this is a revision I want for this. This was too small. This was too big. Da da da. Which I recommend. Or you can also look for another one that will possibly do it better, because they can also possibly do it better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And also ask them for examples that they've done before too. Ask them for examples. Like, I want to make something that's a certain material and fabric now, but I want it really specific, like crocheted, very specific. So I send it to them. I'm like, hey, can you make it like this? Like, is this viable? But yeah. And also, if you don't have access to like, or don't know how to make tech packs or vectors and whatnot, I would definitely say just like find a teacher you really like the fit of, and go online, see if you can find a sizing chart. If you can, send them that sizing chart, and then they can make it off that sizing chart. And if you want to make t-shirts or like start with t-shirts or like sweatpants and stuff like that, learn ounces and ounceage and like GSM of your fabric. Because the heavier your t-shirt is, the higher the GSM. But like most common t-shirts, like a Hanes t-shirt is like 4.5 GSM or 4.5 ounces. But when you translate that to GSM, which is what they do, that's like 100. It's really light. It's not good. So if you want to make a t-shirt out there and you want it to be busting and nice and thick, just go online, just type in GSM calculator or ounce calculator on Google. And like one of the first two that pops up, it will give you all the information you need about how to transfer. It actually will transfer it for you from ounces to GSM, so you could give them specific numbers. And also ask them, if you're making clothes, like, what is the GSM of this fabric? Because they know, but they will not tell you. So you have to ask them those specific questions.